Right, short data learn objective, please, and then we'll carry on with the lesson. Okay, pause the video while you do that and then press play. Right, so we're going to do, so we'll have normal lessons today and tomorrow, so Monday and Tuesday, and then we'll ease it down from there. Okay, so normal lessons today. Okay, right, so intervals of time. So we're going to just start off by a little bit of a reminder in terms of the 12-hour and 24-hour clock. Okay, now excuse this, it's not going to be sort of perfect because so say for example I've got this time here. Okay, that's the minute hand, and this is the hour hand. I know it's not going to be ideal there, so I've got that time here there, so we'd say that's 5, isn't it? 5. Now we could, normally speaking, when we're just sort of on a normal day today, we'll know if it's 5 in the morning or 5 in the afternoon, isn't it? But remembering, you have to know the difference between AM and PM. So if this was in the morning, so you're almost certainly still going to be in bed 5 in the morning, then it would be AM. Okay, AM. So AM lasts from midnight to midday. I know most of us will know this, but just a quick reminder. Midnight to midday, so that's AM. So this is going to be 5 AM. If I was to write that as if you've got a digital clock, so it'd be 5:10 AM. Okay, so that tells us it's 5:10 in the morning. Okay, if it is 5:10 in the afternoon, so you're just about to have your tea, or you've so that goes from midday to midnight, isn't it? So it's in the afternoon and evening. Okay, midnight, and that's obviously our PM. Okay, PM. So this one again, if we look watching that on our digital clock as well, it would be 5:10 PM, and that's our 12-hour clock. Remember the hour hand goes around twice, doesn't it? And the minute hand will go around 24 times. So that would be your AM and PM. So we're going to look at as what now from 24-hour clocks. Okay, 24 hours. Now I'm working on the basis that we do know how to do this, but I will just have a quick reminder. So say for example, I've got my 5:10 AM. So this is in the morning. So when I'm writing my 24-hour clock, this becomes 05:20, and sometimes you don't actually see the dots in there. You don't sometimes see the dots in there, just be 05:20, but I'll put the dots in. And then, but if you've got 5:10 PM in the afternoon, then what happens is when we get to midday, which is 12 o'clock, when we get to 1 o'clock in the afternoon, that becomes basically 13 o'clock, isn't it? We've got 13 o'clock, 14 o'clock, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, and we go all the way around. So it's just like having, being sort of like 23 o'clock instead of 11 o'clock. So what we have to do, when we're in the PM, we just add 12 hours to it, okay? We always add 12 to when we're in the PM. Okay, so this would make that 17. Put 20 again there. 17:10. Okay. So when we're in the PM, we're adding 12. So for example, I can work out. Oh, can you work out what is this time? What is this time? Let's go 14:40. What is that time? In normal 12-hour, clock. Okay, I'll put it on here actually. Okay, so I know that long hand's going to be going to there, and then it's going to be heading more towards there. Okay, so it looks something like that in your clock. Okay, 14:40. So that would be so we've got 12, 13, 14. Okay, so this is 12, 13, 14. We're doing the 24-hour clock, so that actually would be 2:40. And because in the PM in afternoon. Okay, right. I won't spend too long on this because I think we probably should know it. So let's have a little look. We've got 2, and then what about this? If this was 2:40, if this was 2:40 a.m., so you're all comfortably asleep, okay, then it would be 02:40. So that's how we know the difference between and we have to put the O there because that tells us it's 24-hour clock. Okay, 24-hour clock. I'll tell you what we'll do. I think we'll just have a couple of practices. So can you put these into 24-hour clocks? Okay, so number one, let's just go for 1:15, 1:15 p.m. Okay, could you have a go at 8:27 a.m. and then question 3, can you work out what is 10:17 p.m. Okay, pause the video, just write those questions out, and afterwards just write the 24-hour clock version. Okay, right. Okay, hopefully that was okay. So look, see, this is the PM. PM, I'm going to add 12 to that. Okay, 12, so it becomes 13:15. Okay, AM, I'm just going to leave it the same, but I have to put the 0. So 08:27. That tells me it's in the morning. This is when you'd be kind of having your breakfast, getting ready for your school work, isn't it? Or perhaps even heading into school. 13:15 is when you just come up, it's the end of your lunch. Okay, 10:17 p.m. That's going to be in the night time. So PM, I'm going to add 12 to it. 22:17. Okay, so just so you're aware, because the work we're going to be doing today does involve the 24-hour clock. Okay, hopefully we're okay with those. If you're not, you just need to tell me, or you need to kind of ask at home actually, because it's probably, it is the sort of thing mums and dads can teach us quite easily. Okay, I don't want that one, do I? Okay. So let's have a little look. So we're going to be looking at timetables. Okay, so a timetable. So these are the sort of things, you don't see them as much these days because people tend to use, with the internet, people will tend to kind of be able to sort of get, find out a little bit more directly. But if you, when you go to a bus stop or a train station, you'll have lots of this information here. So this tells us that this train, okay, this is a train timetable, so it's leaving Waterloo at 07:10. Okay, so that tells me it's in the AM, doesn't it? It's in the AM, okay, in the morning, okay, because these numbers here are in the afternoon, aren't they? Okay, PM. So that tells me it's leaving at 7:10, and then it's stopping at Woking, it's stopping at Basingstoke, stopping at Andover, and these are the places it's stopping. Now, if you look at this train here, it doesn't stop at Woking, okay, it doesn't stop at Woking, but this would be called the 08:35. This would be called the 11:35 and 13:50, and that's what they would call the trains by the sort of start time, okay? And these are the places it's due to arrive, okay? So let's just say, let's look at the first, we'll just do a few questions. So how long does it take to go from Waterloo on the 7:10, Waterloo to Woking, okay? So a nice easy one to start off with. So if you can work it out yourself if you want, but let's have a look. It leaves at 7:10, okay? It's getting there at 7:35, and this is where we do the jumps, isn't it, okay? And actually we can do one nice big jump there. So from 10 to 35 is 25 minutes. So it takes 25 minutes to get from Waterloo to Woking, okay? And that's how you're going to do it through the jumps, okay, through jumps. I know we have done this, but it was a long time ago, okay? And some of the jumps then can be a bit trickier, okay? Because say, for example, we want to go, how long does it take on the 7:10 to get from Salisbury to Yeovil? So it gets to Salisbury at 8:36, and then it gets to Yeovil at 9:24, okay? Let's put the zeros in, apologies. And sometimes it's best to just, on this one I think it's better you just jump to the next o'clock. So I'm going to go to 9 o'clock here, 0900 hours, okay? So I've got from 36, now remember there are 60 minutes in an hour, okay? So how am I getting from 36 to 60? Okay, I'm adding 24 minutes, okay? And then from there, from 9 o'clock to 9:24, adding another 24 minutes, okay? So that's a 48-minute journey, okay? Now, sometimes if those jumps are a little bit too big, you can do smaller ones. So I go from 08:36. I'm just going to jump to the next 10. So I'm going to add 4 minutes, and that gives me to 08:40. Now I'm going to add another 20 to get to 9 o'clock. So you can see if you do smaller jumps, you can make it easy for yourself. So it's however you want to do these, really. I mean, this is one of the awkward ones where you know, so it would be ideal in class, so we can sort of have a look at different methods people prefer. But some people will just prefer to go to the nearest 10 and then go to 20 and then come from 9 to 9:24. That's an easy jump. Okay, 9:24. That's another 24 minutes, isn't it? So we've got 24, 44, 48 minutes. It takes 48 minutes, okay? So jumping through, you can have longer ones as well. You can see here, we'll do some word problems in a moment, okay? So let's have a look. Say, for example, you arrived at Waterloo at 07:48. You arrived at Waterloo. How long before you could catch the next train to Exeter? How long? So if you arrive in here, and this is when your next train is available, 08:35. So I'm going to do a jump here. I know to get up to the next hour I have to add 12 minutes because 60 minutes in an hour. So I'm going to add 12 minutes there, okay, and that gives me to 08. Then I've got another 35 minutes here to wait. So I'm going to add the 12 and the 35. So that's 47 minutes I've got to wait, okay? Right, the other thing to be sort of questions you can get in these is that sort of you could say, well, how many stops does the train make? The train arrives at Basingstoke at 12:21. So I'm going to look Basingstoke, go across. Oh, yeah, 12:21. How many stops? How many stops until it reaches? Look. Until it reaches Honiton. So let's have a look. So here we are, Basingstoke. How many stops till it reaches Honiton? 1, 2, 3, 4. It's the 4th stop, isn't it? Okay. So you can see this is each time a train stops. These are kind of, when you see big gaps like this means it's the fast train, okay? So it's not stopping at these stations, so it should be quicker. And you can see how long does it take the 1350 to get to Exeter and things like that, okay? Right, I think we'll have a look, go at a few questions ourselves, okay? A few questions ourselves. Just check. Ooh, you can just about see all those, I think, okay? So, pause the video. Do those 3 questions and then we'll quickly go over them, okay? Right, let's have a little look. Let's look at question number 1. So you arrive at Waterloo at 06:45. How long do you have to wait for your train? Well, your train is not until 7:10, okay? So you've got to the train station nice and early, 7:10. How long have you got? We can work out whether you've got enough time for a coffee. So we're going to go to the next hour, 07. Yeah, so that's 15 minutes. Then another jump of 10 minutes. So it's 25 minutes for question 1. 25 minutes, okay? And actually, most of you won't need to do the 2 jumps. You can see 15 minutes till 7 and another 10. But don't be afraid to do the jumps if you need to. The train at Salisbury, the train arrives at Salisbury at 13:17. Let's have a little look. Salisbury, so it must be this one, 13:17. How long will it take to get to Yeovil? So 13:17 and there's Yeovil. So it arrives there at 13:17 and then it's going to Yeovil. Okay. Yeovil 14:07. Okay. So and in this one is however you want to do this is up to you. Okay. I'm going to do this. I'm going to do it the slower way first of all, but actually, as long as you got it correct, so let's do this. Go 14:07. Now you could just do it in small. I'm going to just add 3 minutes to get to 13. And this is one of those questions. It's surprising how many people get these sort of questions wrong. So that's 3 minutes. Now I'm going to go to jump to the next o'clock. Okay, so 1400 hours, 2 o'clock in the afternoon. That would be another 40 minutes, isn't it? 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, another 40. And then I've got another 7 to go. From 1400 to there is another 7 minutes. So I go 40, 47, 50 minutes. That's what it takes, okay? 50 minutes. You can, of course, then think about it this way if you wanted to. And maybe, I think possibly some of you may have, okay? Okay, to 14:07. If you went all the way, okay, if you went all the way to here, to 14:17, if you went to 14:17, and then you can minus that 10 minutes. You can take 10 minutes off, so that would be an hour, and jump a whole hour to 14:17, go back 10, so again 50 minutes. However you do it, it doesn't matter, but make sure you're sort of careful with it. Let's have a little look. How long does it take the 8:35 to get from Waterloo to Exeter? So we've got 8:35, the 08:35, and we're going all the way to Exeter, 11:42. Now again, you don't have to go up initially by the minutes. Now you could go to the next hour and so on, but I think in this case, now this is 35 and that's 42. So I'm going to keep the hours the same. So I could just go an hour every time. So it's 9:35, 10:35 and 10:35, and then to 11:35. So I've jumped 3 hours, 1, 2, 3 hours. And now I know I've only got another 7 minutes. Okay, 7 minutes. So that would be 3 hours, 7 minutes. So you can sort of play around with it like that. Don't feel as if you have to go to the next 10 and go from there. Try and sort of use a little bit of common sense with it. Okay, try and use a bit of common sense. Right. Okay. So let's have a go at today's work. I think. So. Can we, in our books, page 81, so page 58, questions 1 to 6, have a go at those first of all, please. And then I think we should be okay to go on page 59, questions 1 to 6 as well, okay? And we'll just do a little bit more of this tomorrow, I think. And then we kind of more or less done, okay? Right, okay, well done, everyone. Okay, good luck with that. Bye.